It's a new week, and that means it's time for your recommended dose of Tag Back, the show where every week we take a look at another blaster from the past to see what it can offer us today in the present. Yada yada yada, clever segue, Secret Shot 2. What exactly is the Secret Shot 2? Well, to explain that we have to go back to the original Secret Shot, which we have a video on right here. And I say we because Jagular did like 99% of the work on that, but a quick recap for those of you that haven't seen it. The Secret Shot 2 was a Nightfinder style pullback vintage blaster that came out the same year as the mythical crossbow. And what that was is you put a dart in the barrel, you pulled it back, and you fired it. However, it did have a nice little gimmick where if you rotated the dart holder and then pulled it back again, it would fire a second dart that you cleverly hid in the handle of the grip. And it was pretty darn cool. I don't know how well that would have worked. It's like, ha! But it did it, and that was the point. It was something cool it didn't need to do, but it did it because it was a toy and it was meant to be fun. Where does that leave the Secret Shot 2? Well, this came out a few years later in the Airjet Power line. That means it's air-powered, and that means it's awesome. Simply pump it up with the nice little manual air pump located in the bottom of the grip here, and just kind of give it like 3 or 4 good jolts, and you hear it pop, and that's because the overpressure release kicked in. And then you pull this bottom trigger, and it goes kind of underwhelming. However, if you pump it up again, you get like 4 or 5 pumps, you pull the upper trigger, a secret barrel with a dart is in there, and then if you pull the trigger, nothing really happens. It doesn't really work all that well, unfortunately. Come on. There we go. And the reason being because that is, well, it's a rubber seal that just kind of flops down and, you know, tries to seal itself with the barrel, but doesn't always work that well. Which means there is no air restrictor anywhere in this blaster, because obviously all the airflow has to still go to this line right here. And that's about it for this thing. It is meant to shoot the original Mega Darts, which I have on the dart holders right there. These are not original Mega Darts. These are some kind of Chinese knockoff I found. It's the only thing I have to kind of test these things with. But what do I like about this blaster? Well, it's air-powered, so of course you could open it up, plug, you know, the overpressure release, and get some decent performance out of it. After you rebarrel and whatnot, I found a lot of people claim they can get about 65, 70 foot ranges flat with it, which are darn impressive. However, when I think of the Secret Shot 2, I think of the one Nerfomania made before he went AWOL, where he shoved a Panther tank into it, because of course he shoves Panther tanks into everything, and his happened to hit like 100 feet flat, and it was absolutely incredible and a well-worthy sidearm. This, maybe not. I mean, the air tank is big on it, but it just doesn't seem to get a whole lot of power, and the worst part is these things are really prone to failures. The one I have that I finally found after all these years had a leak in the very rear of the tank. Not good. And this one, which was kindly given to me by John, I've been singing his praises a lot recently, still has some issues where every once in a while just won't seal. It won't hold air. It's really intermittent. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but this is like the 4th time I've tried to record this so far, because last time the dart just didn't work, and then I had a dart in the barrel and I tried to shoot it, and when I pumped it, it just flew out the front because it wasn't sealing properly, and that's annoying. There is a lot to love though with this design, because unlike virtually every other air-powered blaster out there, the pump is located in the grip and not located underneath or in like some kind of crazy stock or anything like that. Which makes it very intuitive to me. Yeah, it's really fun to have like a shotgun style pump that you can use to jerk off your blaster, but this is a lot more fun to me because it's out of the way, it's very compact, it makes the overall blaster pretty thin. I'm sure there's a fat joke in there somewhere, but you get it. There's nothing really here, it's just one long barrel, which is awesome. Whether or not the gimmick worked, I mean, it probably worked a heck of a lot better, you know, 20 years ago, but even now, I loved this design. When I first saw this blaster, I really wanted one, and now that I have one, I just want to figure out a way to make it hit even harder, because this is a really cool little sniper pistol that you can make. If you're gonna do something like that, I mean, you pretty much have to decide whether you want to have the barrel down like this, or you want to have it up like that. I'm guessing if you wanted to, you could have like a PVC-Y and have a, you know, some kind of RSCB clip running through this thing, which would be pretty cool. You could probably get enough pressure to use that. Or better yet, you could just have it down and shove, you know, your brass or your PVC in there and, you know, have one long barrel with that cool, you know, plastic on the front there, or you could have it like this and have your ramrod in there so you can ram a dart down the barrel, and all sorts of stuff that you would normally do with air blasters, but just the overall design where it doesn't have that pump located underneath right here, and it's a pistol, and it looks like your mom's hair dryer and your dad's like an attachment he has on the hose to wash his car, you know, got together one night and had a few drinks, and this is the result of that experimentation. This is just a really cool blaster to me. Maybe I'm the only one who thinks that, but I know a couple of you have wanted to see this thing. I'm deliberately trying to point the thing in my eye with my finger on the trigger as much as possible because I know that upsets some of you with your, oh, trigger discipline and whatnot, but you get it. I'm having fun because that's what this is. It is a fun blaster. You can bring it up to some pretty substantial ranges, but it's really nothing stock that you can't get out of a heavily modified strong arm or hammer shot or something like that with a 8-kilogram spring in it that could hit as hard as this but doesn't have to be pumped up or anything like that. And since the internals are due to failure anyway, you're probably going to want to replace them with something far superior like a Panther tank and whatnot. And that's a little disappointing because I just love this blaster. It's really, really cool, and I think it deserves all the praise it can possibly get. And it looks cool. Look at all the molding lines and stuff on it and that vintage Nerf logo there. They just don't make them how they used to. And the dual trigger setup is pretty comfortable, although I'm guessing if you were to modify this, you'd probably have to get rid of that for good reason. I've looked at the internals and they're kind of weird. It basically, when you push that, it pushes a little pin into the tank, which releases the air pressure. So I'm guessing a large amount of the tank is actually for that kind of seal release, and there's a little bit of it. Even though it's physically massive, it's like the size of that bulge right there. It's still not that good, and that's a shame. Stock, not too much. I'm running in circles now, but I just love this thing and I wanted to do a video on it, and that's the entire point of Tag Back, is hopefully I can show you something where you just look at it and say, I want one, where do I get it? And I get to say, have some good luck at a thrift store or something, because I tried for a very long time to find one of these and I only recently managed to get one. And then that one didn't even hold air, and then I got a second one because somebody gave it to me. But that's all she wrote for the Secret Shot 2. Let me know what you think about this blaster down in the comment boxes below. Do you love it? Do you hate it? I would love to read your comments because I read most of them, including all the ones that get filtered out because of all the hate mail. And then, of course, if you like the blaster, hit the like button, and of course the dislike button is there for you as well, because you're just going to hit it because like, everybody else is liking the video, I'm going to be the first to dislike it. I'm Walcom S7, thank you so much for watching this video, and if you want to see some more episodes of Tag Back, here are 2 more that you can check out. If you like this kind of thing, you might see something you didn't even know existed and something you never knew you wanted. Happened to me with the Power Strike, it happened to you for everything else. Thanks again for watching this video, and I hope to see you in an entirely different one. I love it.